This is Dale Maharidge.
And Michael Williamson.
This is an introduction to the blog to come. For the next 2 months or a little better, we're going to show you the backstory behind our work. It's about our new book, Someplace Like America, Tales from the New Great Depression. And this blog will start with Journey to Nowhere, the book that later inspired Bruce Springsteen to write 2 songs on his Ghost of Tom Joad album. Now, what we're going to do is, before we start, we're going to tell you what we just did. I'm down here at Michael Williamson's in Silver Spring, Maryland. We spent the last 2 days going through his archives, boxes and boxes and boxes of old pictures, ephemera, scanning and photographing them in. Some of the material you're going to see in this show. We came across something a little interesting. Tell us, Michael, what we found and what we did.
Well, I made the rather adventurous move to look at about 30 boxes that have been under my porch for, I haven't looked at them in about 15 years, and hadn't looked at a lot of them in 25 or 30 years because they were just boxes that just kept getting moved from house to house to house to house and not really looking in them. And we found some of them were rotted and fallen apart, but one of the boxes we came across was basically a very nondescript U-Haul box that said Hobo Gear. So it would have been the gear probably from the 1982 trip, the March of 82 trip, maybe throughout that year too, that the backpack, the shoes, the clothes were in there. And in somewhat good shape, but we came across the satchel where I carried, road items, and we found, sugar in a little jar that was fused like sugar cubes, non-dairy creamer, which I think is now a science experiment in the former Soviet Union. I think it looks a little bit like anthrax. And then the coffee itself, which was actually leaning on its side, so it's actually fused to the jar, leaning, looking basically like brown lava with mold on it. We did not attempt to make a cup of coffee from the coffee items, but we did find 3 cans of kipper snaps, basically Norwegian fish, with the old little key that you turn. And believe it or not, it was kind of a Romeo and Juliet suicide pact. We're going to open this thing and eat it. You eat it and I eat it. So not one guy gets to get sick. Both of us have to try a bite. And so I was the photographer, so I made Dale try the first bite. So if he dropped dead, I could take care of his estate.
I'll have to say, they didn't taste too bad, although 1 bite was enough. So this may be our last word and testament. So if we don't live after this, these will be our final words. And if not, it was an experiment. It was 28 years at least since those cans have been purchased. How much did they cost? What's the price on them?
I didn't see the price on the fish. The large jar of instant coffee, which is now pretty expensive, was 79 cents.
Yeah, we didn't try that.
No, we weren't that. We were too busy eating some dumpster food to try for that coffee.
So hang in here for the show to come. I'm calling it a show and not a blog because it's kind of a historical blog. The next couple of months, you're going to see a lot of Michael's pictures, a lot of my pictures. One way to know whose is the good ones are Michael's. And there's going to be some video, a little bit of video later, a little bit of old vintage train hopping. I'm going to have a segment of us jumping on a freight train in 1986. You'll see what it's like a little bit. And hope you enjoy the show.
Okay, we'll see you on down the line, as Bruce would say.